was a caricature artist for Six Flags, and one day a dad and his son came up and wanted to get a drawing of the two of them. Now the way the caricature pricing worked was we would charge per person in the drawing. The father and son wanted a simple black and white headshot of the two of them, and the black and white headshot was $10, so for the two of them it would be $20 before tax. I very clearly explained this to them, asking several times, "Are you okay with the ending price?" And they excitedly accepted. Fast forward to me ringing them up at the register, and I tell them the total, 24 something. The father's happy and friendly demeanor quickly dissipates. I calmly explain the situation with pricing and apologize if I wasn't clear enough, and gently remind him that he understood and agreed, otherwise I wouldn't have done the drawing. Big mistake. He gets angrier and starts yelling at me, cursing me out for lying and overcharging them to put a few more coins in my pocket. He accuses me of preying on parents and their children, thinking I can take advantage of them because they're stupid fuckers. He tries to take the drawing without paying, and then when I hold it back and tell him he can't, he throws a $10 bill at me and snarls that that's all he's going to pay, and that I'm worthless and my drawing isn't even good, and it doesn't deserve more than that. I'm really upset at this point, and hand him the drawing wishing him a good day. "Fuck you," he yells in response. The whole time his son is standing there, looking embarrassed and terrified. The dad proceeds to pace back and forth in front of my stand, alternating between coming back to the counter and yelling at me, and chasing customers away, screaming at them about how I'm stealing money and how the stand is a huge fucking ripoff. Thankfully his charade lasted all of 20 minutes and the police finally got him out of there. Left me pretty shaken though. I had to take my break early and cried over my lunch. At our park, we had a slide that was about 60 feet high, one pipe, and the most popular. It went down an 80-degree angle. It was completely open. You sat down and slid down the 60 feet within 2 seconds. Quite a thrill, really. 2 guards manned the ride, one at the bottom and one at the top, to control the antics of the guests at all times. Then, I see a kid take 2 steps backwards. I know what he's about to do. He must be stopped, I think. But alas, what am I to do? I have no way to contact the lifeguard up top. There is no phone, no radio. I blow out my whistle twice. The guards nearby look at me. The guard at the top turns around to find the source of my noise, to find me pointing at the kid. Too late. The kid ran and jumped clean off the slide. Now, up to this point in my life, I had been afraid of things, but nothing in all of my life had made me scared until now. Seeing a young man fall to his impending doom and being powerless over it makes you feel terrible. Feeling, by some extension of logic, that you are indirectly responsible for this makes it even worse. Never in my life have my stomach and jaw dropped so fast. To his credit, he assumed the proper position of arms and legs being crossed, but now he was clean in the air, flying like a lead brick. As he did so, his body turned over so slightly. It was something he noticed, and fruitlessly tried to correct for. Instead, he fell some distance before hitting inside the flume and chaotically tumbling down the ride. I called paramedics immediately, and we had to backboard this kid out of the splashdown flume. The kid messed up his neck pretty badly, broke his fibula, I think. He was carted off in an ambulance and put in the brace the moment we got him out. They said he was fine. He walked again, much to my surprise. I worked at Raging Waters in San Dimas, California for a few summers in high school and college. It was a great job, walking distance from my house. I got to work on my tan, and there was a lot of hot chicks. Anyway, this was the summer of 1987. I was just about 17. I was on lifeguard duty at the top of the dropout. Dropout was our huge slide that went up about 70 feet and the slide went straight down. No twists or turns. Just straight down into a shallow slip of water. I'm doing my thing, telling people to lie down, cross their arms across their chests so I could gently nudge them down over the edge. It didn't take much for me to slide them over. Literally a slight tug was all it took. Mid-shift, out of nowhere, a group of 20-somethings get to the front of the line. Must have been about 4 guys, maybe a girl too. The one alpha guy of the pack tells me, "Hey, let me slide off myself." And before I could say anything, by the way, I was told by lawyers and witnesses that they heard me yell at him to get down. He hoists himself on top of the horizontal platform of the slide, where one's supposed to lay down so I can slide them down, and takes a fucking running hop over the ledge. I think what he was trying to do was a cannonball and land with his back against the slide. That's my theory. Like they say when something bad happens, everything was in slow motion. The guy gets lots of air. I don't think he realized that the drop is almost 90 degrees down. In midair, he tried to self-correct his jump, his arms and legs wildly trying to feel for anything to grab onto. It never happened. Thinking about it as I write this, it was sort of like that cartoon coyote that runs off a cliff for a split second or two. He hangs there in the air realizing he's fucked. Somehow he free fell between both slides. Dropout has 2 identical slides about 2 feet apart, and hit every iron crossbar that held up the 7-story deck. Here's a video of the ride I found on YouTube. Those aqua green cross beams above the point of the drop on each slide weren't there in '87. If they were, the guy could have never jumped. So the guy falls 70 feet, hitting pretty much every steel girder on the way down. He lands at the base of the slide with just about every bone in his body broken, compound fractures everywhere. He ended up in a wheelchair for the rest of his life, and settled for about 1/10 of what he tried to sue for. Yup, the asshole tried to sue the park and me. Luckily, there were dozens of witnesses who saw and heard me yelling at the guy to get off the slide. It was also passed along that he was loaded out of his mind. Lots of near drownings and lost bikini tops at that job, but this dropout story is one everyone wanted to hear that summer.